there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. We've got quite a lot of things going on. It's a little bit messy, but let's get into it as soon as possible. Let's start with what's going on in Russia. So we are actually having some of the Russian revolutions going off, however not the ones that we want. I wanted the Soviets, or the Communists, or whatever you want to call them, to rise up here in the industrial centers in the north, Petrograd and Novgorod. However, those are not the revolutionaries that have turned up, even though we can see that Petrograd is... They're certainly not happy there, so we'll probably see a revolution going on there, but the revolutions that have been triggered is actually... the conservative ones. The white movement have spawned around Smolensk, about 1.25 stack, and then down here as well within Russian territory we have the white army triggered, so we've got a full stack and a quarter stack spawning here against Belgrade. Quite interesting. Not entirely what I wanted, as it puts actually quite a bit of problem for my plan. As Smolensk is a victory condition region, I'm gonna have to redeploy Otto von Bellow from Moscow, marching directly to Smolensk to recapture that, as there's no possibility of me holding it with only 3 reserve battalions. I am already recruiting reserve battalions to hold Moscow down while Otto turns his way back to Smolensk to take that. At the same time, as I'm noticing that revolution isn't really kicking off in Russia in the way I want, it looks like the Soviets or the Bolsheviks might be limited to only gaining Petrograd, or at least weakening Petrograd, which means that I should, as soon as possible, launch an attack on Novgorod. So I'm having August von Mackensen moving in along the river, and he's going to strike hopefully before winter turns up, and we'll be able to strike and take that from the Russians. Another victory region will fall to us. As we head further down south, oh yeah, as you might have noticed, I did just as I said in the last video, that I would go ahead and do these sieges off camera. So we've taken Kiev and we've taken Moscow. This army is gonna have to be modernized now when it's actually in a resupply center. So we're gonna modernize that one, set it up, and go against the Russians or whoever comes against us now as Russia turns into civil war. As the Russians also have a strong point right here, which the Austrians have done nothing to do, or like put no effort against destroying that part. They might actually be moving that now, because they are no longer being able to fight the Romanians. They need to channel their troops against the Russians. Currently the Ottomans for some reason decides to block Bismarck's, or not Bismarck, Hindenburg's army from moving north. So I'm not entirely sure. I might have to move the very arduous way through here, and that's going to be difficult through the snow. But we'll try to make it here so we can strike here. Otherwise, we'll leave it up to the refitted army from Kiev to march against the Russians. So that's what's going on in Russia. Then we head to the Mediterranean, where of course last time around we were able to take Sicily. Now we're hoping to make attacks on finalizing our attacks and destroying the French and the Italians, and I've devised a plan. For some reason right now, with the army set up in the navy, I cannot move it out. But if I put the army back on dry land, disembark them from the ships, then my navy ships can actually... We're not going to bring everyone. We're going to leave the destroyer. If I move out, these guys don't intercept me. But I can't, of course, stay here, and we don't have a lot of movement range. So where am I going to go? Where am I going to hide? I need to get this navy to a safe area where I can pick up an army and then land it on this. So I was wondering, like, I could move as far away, but will still be within the range of all of these. And then I figured it out. This port is open. We'll go in there. Now they can't get us. And next turn, I will have enough movement range to jump over down here, where we can pick up this army once it's ready and refitted, and then launch it against Sardinia, killing the Italians, opening up this port, gaining 2 more ships, and we might just be able to take out the French as well, which would make a huge boost. So we were also wondering where those armies were landing. Well, I brought my spy aircraft along the coast here, the Austro-Hungarian coast. So as we bring it along here, we can see that this area is actually under siege or blockade. And look at that, we have a French navy. Now we're not entirely sure what it is, but hopefully when I attack it with my fleet here, as we come out of port with this, the Austrian fleet should sally forth out as well, and combined we would overwhelm the French. But as it looks right now, the safe option is to wait to see if I will actually be able to land some extra troops here and take out the Kingdom of Italy completely and have them completely replaced with my puppet Fascist Italy. Which would be great, because with the Italian navy gone, it opens up so much, and then it makes it a lot easier for me to go against the French, take out the French, and then I can send my fleets over here, take out the Russians. Suddenly we have control of the Mediterranean, we have the control of the Black Sea, we've got Black Sea oil coming in to us, and the only real strong point left for the Entente will be the Rock of Gibraltar. Tons of British troops there and a sizable navy, so we'll take time to crack that. Probably won't be able to do it in time of this campaign, as the war will draw to its close. And with all of that said, we're now making our way to Great Britain. So we got the Prince of Prussia moving north. He's going to join in the battles as we're about to cross with a number of troops, hopefully aid here. So I've already done the first Battle of Cardiff, or the second battle I should say, the counterattack of Cardiff. I went ahead and played that one off camera because it was single army and there's so many other British army coming, so I thought, you know what, I'll wait until they're actually coming on with a lot more troops. That'll make a lot more interesting battle if they're bringing in tons of infantry to attack me rather than a single arm. You know, if I'm gonna do a video or a battle for every single one of the British armies attacking me one by one, I'd be here forever. We want to break as many of them as possible in one big swoop. So we possibly got 3 armies here that we can destroy if we sally forth. At the same time, my navy is refitted, and they should be able to move in and start cleaning up some of these British ships. Gonna bring in the Bavarian superclass ships for what's he called? Von Prussia. He's not actually, it's just Hendrik von Prussia. I could out-resolve this, but I think I'll still probably end up losing a ship somehow. So I'm gonna wait and do that off camera. Now we're gonna bring our destroyers. We're gonna pick these guys. Well, first what we're gonna do is we're gonna attack the British ports and deny them that trade which they would get in. So now currently they have 2 ports open, still gain about 3,000, actually 5,000 from those 2 ports, but hopefully we'll be closing those soon enough as well. And as more troops trickle in here, we can send them across. Now the army that I've got here that's going to go ahead and replenish, it's too small to go against the capital, even though I could possibly do that, but it's going to spawn so many troops. Why am I looking so far away from it? It's going to spawn so many troops, like elite troops to defend the capital, there's no point in sending such a small army. It's somehow I'm going to get it close enough that it can support this army, and getting those machine gun tanks in there is going to be very important, because we can just annihilate, hopefully, large swaths of British troops. And for the final bit explaining the situation, what's going on? Well, the Irish have moved a army to stop us crossing. However, even though I gave the Irish every technology we have, the Irish have gone ahead and insisted on keeping the college at Cork rather than building it, turning it into a factory, which would be needed for those modern units like machine guns, or like heavier machine guns and cannons and stuff. But they haven't gone ahead and done that. So this army is very soft target for my army here to just completely annihilate as we would be going forward. And that is our situation as of now. And I think we're going to avoid naval battles. We've done enough of them. They all kind of end up the same, unless there's like an important battle that I sort of might risk it, where I kind of risk it because they're equal size. Then I might do it like this one right here, if I sally forth here or go out of port to attack and hopefully bring in the Austrians. To think that would be an interesting one. It would kind of spice it up, because I would be, you know, a large part of the fleet, the Allied fleet, or the Central Powers fleet in that battle would be an AI, and that would kind of bring an interesting dynamic to that battle, make it a little bit more different than some of the other battles that we've done. But you know, this one where I'm so bloody overpowered that, I mean, they'll be shot out of the sea before they even can fire a shell back at us. So I think for today, what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna risk it. We're gonna risk it, and we're going to counterattack the British at Cardiff, rather than wait for them to siege us. Also, because when I played the counterattack at Cardiff, which I didn't show, the battle map was so boring and so flat that, I mean, yeah, it was just absolute shit. So I don't want to do that again. So we're going to sally forth. Hubert Go is in command of this force. A lot of interesting British troops are being brought into this battle. Lots of cannons. I managed to get all the 3 armors as I wanted. I could be biting off a lot more than I could actually chew here, because I have 1900 men. So say 2000. Against theirs 7500. So I'm outnumbered by 5,500 men, with the enemy having a lot of heavy artillery, with the enemy having tons of machine guns and elite troops and whatnot. It's a very dangerous battle, and something where I definitely need those tanks to come in and support me afterwards. But you know what? We're still gonna play it, and we're still gonna see about claiming victory in this battle. With that said, we're going into a very difficult battle. And here's the setup of today's battle. As I must commend myself. No, I wasn't sure it was going to be a river battle, but it turned out to be a river battle, and that is perfect to neutralize the enemy's advantage in numbers. We're going to have to move forward quite a bit of our artillery, as some of it doesn't reach that far. But that should be fine. I've placed the Ruhr assault groups over there. They should be able to move forward and attack cannons as I need. We've got assault pioneers placing bombs in front of the bridge and in front of the river crossing. 4 infantry units here, 4 infantry units here. We've got the light infantry, the Jaegers right here. Lots of cannons. Let's start. What's that? Machine gun that close? Shit. That's gonna annihilate my pioneers. These cannons barely reach. Oh shit! That cavalry unit. Those hussars are gonna ride right onto the bomb if I don't, and blow my own unit with it. Infantry forward. We're gonna bring the infantry kind of up to the crest here. And the assault pioneers made it pretty... They made it out of there with decent numbers still intact. So I definitely don't want to trigger the bomb on the hussars. Shit, that's a lot of artillery. You're gonna focus in on the enemy's field guns over there. Then these guns are gonna silence the machine gun. And then these two. I definitely want... If the bomb's gonna be triggered, it's gonna be triggered by infantry, not by cavalry. I'm gonna have to definitely do something about that cannon. And also the machine guns. There's a lot of shrapnel shot coming in. What I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna have to move some of these. So we're gonna move them in pairs. So first these two field artillery guns, and then the old siege gun's gonna be moved up. The assault pioneers made it out with half of the units gone. Not very nice. I didn't know they could like forward spawn the machine gun. Or maybe they were actually able to spawn all the way up to the edge there. 32 men left of the assault pioneers. At least the bomb didn't go off on some stupid hussars. We're not expecting any reinforcements, so I'm not going to retreat the troops. We're going to make sure that we sit out of range of the enemy's cannons, and we're going to sit at long lines. Let's move these up here. That should be good. And with the initial fight over, didn't I order you to target these? Not very accurate. Looks like the British are concentrating towards the bridge, which would be very interesting if they decided to try and march over that. Gonna focus on them right now. This battle is probably... Oh, is that enemy reinforcements? Right. The thing is, this battle is probably going to be quite long. So, I'm probably going to have to... Like, certain bits... Like, right now, nothing's really happening. We're just shooting at each other a little bit. So stuff like this, I would cut out, like, dull moments. And then we'll come back once the enemy is ready to actually cross the bridge. We're almost at the half-hour mark, and the enemy has yet to really make a play. I've been bombarding them with artillery forever. Look at the sizes of these units. I've just let my artillery rip through these guys, and they're just sitting there. They're not actually crossing the river. Now, of course, I will still want to attack, but it's, you know, advisable if the enemy has artillery advantage to go against them and try and kill them. But clearly not in this case, as my enemy has not really crossed the river. Now they sent one cavalry unit over, but that was quickly slaughtered. So my hope for an epic battle is diminishing by the second. But I will be... It looks like I will still be able, though, to kill off at least one of these armies with not too many casualties sustained to my own army. And I believe for the next turn I will be getting machine guns. And then we're gonna talk about casualties for the British. They have the machine guns firing, but I think it's firing just straight into this hill right here. Or this, yeah. So it's shooting at more of its own troops than it's shooting any of mine. And I mean, we're at a half-hour mark. And they haven't really been able to do anything. Just because they are defending and they're intent on defending so strong that they're just gonna sit there and get blasted to absolute bits. To the point where they even help out and shoot their own people with machine gun. It kind of feels like that that meme where he's poking it with a stick and he's like, come on, do something. The British are so inactive that I'm even thinking about crossing the bridge. They are setting up quite a bit of artillery back here. And it's the heavy siege gun, so they've got long range. However, I've got even longer range with my super heavy siege howitzer battery firing all the way over here, making huge splashes. And the field gun over here isn't doing too well. And the cavalry trying to make a push across the bridge. They've drawn their swords. They're gonna try and make it across. But they all get shot down. Comes another unit. They've got a little bit of infantry. Maybe the Royal Marines will be able to take part in this assault. Maybe they can swim across. Get your dinghies, soldiers. We're crossing the river. Yeah, at this point it looks like the enemy is not actually going to attack me. Let's go on the offensive. I'm going to risk it here. We're going to send these units across the river. And I'm going to start sending the Ruhr assault battalions over towards this side. One thing that I kind of need though is... these machine guns need to be gone, or I need to be able to attack them from in a way that they won't be able to inflict super heavy damage on me, because they definitely can. Heavy gun will still continue to blast these troops. Yeah, the British kind of pulled away from the river crossing. But I'm not sure if I'm bold enough to bring my troops across the bridge. Not while we're under fire from that shrapnel gun. That will definitely have to go first. And especially as there's another one coming in. And there's a machine gun. So I would definitely want to get rid of those first, because these troops have suffered quite a bit of casualties. They're the best at half strength, all of the units here. So not really something that I would want to bring across right now. Oh shit, I forgot about the machine gun. Is that doing any damage to me? I think he's firing into the hill. There's only one machine gun though. Let's put some focused fire on that. Just hold here for a minute until we can break that one so I can move through. Also, the Ruhr assault battalions will be moving against the mortar battery instead to destroy that. The thing, of course, is right now the British looks like they're gonna win just because I won't have time to defeat them all, but just because they're so slow at moving into the battlefield. We're not suffering heavy casualties as of yet, but we're not being able to hit a stupid machine gun. Come on, hit that thing. Ruhr assault battalions getting closer to the mortars. That should be good. I don't know, maybe if I move through the woods I can get close enough so that it can focus. Oh, it lost 2 crew. Now it's just one guy. I think it's time to move. It's a single guy on the cannon. I don't think we need to worry about that single one troop. Let's see. One for the field gun in the woods. One for the one back on the hill. The troops along the river will hold. These guys will continue across. Let's have you hold right there. As I recall, these mortars soak up quite a lot of bullets and protect the crew. So how about we throw some grenades? I think we need to get... Probably need to get a little bit closer to get a better grenade toss in there. And get even closer here. Come on, kill them, let us cross. Okay, so this army group is now moving across. And now there's only 3 guys left, 2 functioning mortars. They're focusing a lot of troops around here for some reason, which kind of seems like a perfect opportunity to focus fire on that. Machine guns are definitely a target that I need to get rid of, so we're going to focus the long guns on that. Oh, we silenced these guns. My Big Berthas were able to destroy them. And now this army group should be able to push forward, start flanking the enemy.
We have killed their general, sir. Now
very nice. Enemy general moved up to the bridge, got shot to pieces. Still though, at this point I imagine we've killed about half of the enemy force. Still half on the way. Maybe line up a little bit here because we've got cavalry. Not that they will be able to do much, but still, we should be prepared to gun them down as soon as possible. Also, we should get closer to the reinforcement zone. These cannons are the most useful ones, so I'm going to move them first. Actually, let's move all the guns forward. We're not receiving that much enemy fire anyways. Okay, forward. Forward, forward, forward. We've got machine guns, 2 machine guns. Rolling forwards. Might be hidden ones, but I don't think so. These, I don't think, even if I don't think it's worth trying to move them across even. We are receiving counter battery fire here. which has killed one of my cannons. But I'm not going to move these cannons much further. And I don't think I need to move these scouts much further until I can reach the very end here. Let's get the heavy ones to bombard around this area. And then just in case, we'll move these guys closer, just in case the enemy managed to break through. So that machine gun right here has definitely stopped working. And once this one stopped working, you can see about bringing in the troops from the side here and just swipe the enemy away. As soon as possible I want you to deploy, because there's starting to be quite some heavy infantry units over on the British side now that we would like to deal with. My heavy artillery, not really all the way to the edge. They're about here. That's still good. Let's see, what do I have here? We have 2 units, the Roar assault guys. We can hide them below here. Have them throw grenades above. The 81st Infantry will stay in the woods as kind of a backup plan if we need to retreat. And now these troops will move forward. These cannons, where's the machine gun? Oh, it's out of range for us. The British are moving back. Not entirely sure why, but it kind of looks like they're in full retreat almost. Oh, they leave. Sometimes the AI does leave the map, but it looks like they're not doing it here. Or maybe that's more of a Napoleon Total War 3 thing, where the enemy kind of realize that they're about to lose and they decide to leave on their own. Because they know they're doomed. I need to get rid of that machine gun, so that's what we're aiming for. Currently it's facing the wrong way though. Maybe I can push hard enough, get close enough, that we can start shooting it down, and then together with the artillery that will be enough. Looks like they're focusing all around this, which is just 2 artillery crewmen. Royal Marines moving up to stop my advance here. These 2 will continue while these 2 set up to fire against him. And get these into the woods. Okay, the heavy shots are starting to land now in this area. We've been running for quite a while, so it's going to take some time for these units to set up. That looks fine. All the artillery is now ready to set up and ready to fire. Oh, we've got, yeah, this is kind of a messed up situation where the assault groups are now sandwiched in between lots of enemy infantry. But if I'm gonna win this in the allotted time I have, we're gonna have to play a little bit reckless. That was only 11 men died. Okay, halt. The enemy is closing in. Spam those grenades at them. Spam the grenades. Give them another go. We've got one group here, risk of destruction. Get further into the woods. Continuously keep throwing those grenades. Push forward here. Heavy guns focus on this. And then the other heavy guns I need over here. Let's see if we can get closer, throw even more grenades in among this. There we go. Oh, there's so many British troops coming out here. Give them another go. Oh, we're blowing our own men up. Get those grenades out. Oh, the British are charging over here. Set up next to this one and throw grenades. This is continuously throwing grenades in this area. I think they might want to pull back at this point. Oh, these guns, we've pushed so far that these guns have nothing to fire at. I kind of need the guys on the river now to push across, or I should have done that a long time ago. Hard melee fighting here. Brutal. The enemy has the advantage there. Push back to the defensive line. We'll set up on the other side of it. Heavy guns are still within reach. These guys need to get closer. What do we have? We have 12 minutes left. Wait, are they leaving? The Royal Hussars definitely left the field. All those hand grenades that were thrown into the woods here, in among the massive British troops. Holy shit. It gave us a little bit of time here, so we can actually... These troops were able to move back behind cover and set up to prepare. Are you within range? Yes. Just barely. I'm gonna need as much artillery support as possible. Oh. Enemy cannon. Aim for that field gun. Looks like the British going for a charge. I'm gonna need artillery strikes at the very front of this assault, and I'm gonna need these troops to move into line immediately, as we're probably gonna have to fall back. Get some hand grenades going at them. Oh, see daisy. Okay, that didn't really work. Pull back a bit. Set up in their flank. And then focus the artillery on this side. Because the British are trying to overrun us. We're going to shoot our own men if we don't. This unit got completely overrun and it doesn't like its situation currently. Now you should be able to throw grenades and get a pretty good result. Okay, the troops here are setting up. That's good. Okay, my unit got overrun. Not very good. You kinda pull back to the side. Marines getting shot up and thrown tons of grenades on. We've got a large amount cannons now rolling in. Machine gun opening fire. I'm running out of troops here. Let's make sure that we don't shoot each other here, shall we? As we set up to cover as the British push forward. I mean, there's definitely been a desperate fight here. Keep bombarding this one. Or maybe these. Close quarters fight. British Marines. Smaller contingents moving forward. I have a layered defense here though, which should kind of work. I need to push these guys back a bit and not have them spread out as much as the back line is shooting the first line. Surprised the women shoot these guys. There are 4 of them and they're still fighting. Okay, now they're gone. A little bit worried about all of this artillery concentration. These guns don't reach, so that'll be firing in support of the infantry. Regular infantry. I wish I could push forward. I think though, because they've concentrated the artillery so close, that my artillery barrage will destroy them. This fight looks like it's going to be down to like the last man. Like in case of this Indian guy of the 32nd Infantry. He's the only one left of that unit. They're really holding to the very end. My siege gun's definitely doing a number on their artillery position here. Lost them to bits. These guns need to be moved forward again. You are still shooting, right? Slightly repositioning here. Why aren't you firing? A single guy out of the 18th Regiment. Blow that to bits. At some point here, these guns will be pushed into the river.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Oh, which one is that? It's you. Well, kill that cannon then. There's basically no British left. Get the machine gun. And then the rest of these troops will push towards the woods. Back up to the defensive position. Ooh. Oh, no. You know what? Everyone back across the river. There's just too many of those big British infantry units coming across. I've broken up most of the enemy's heavy artillery concentration though. So that's pretty darn good. But there's a risk of me just losing all my infantry here if we don't pull across again. Back to our own side. Very tough fighting. Looks like I won't be able to win the battle like I had hoped. But we would definitely have inflicted a lot more damage on the British side than they would have done on us. So many cannons and so many units destroyed. It's not comparable. However, now when all my troops are retreating back across the river, back across the bridge, getting shrapnel shot in the back, with all those units crowding on the bridge, that's probably causing quite a bit of casualties on my side. Not much I can do about that though, because we just need to get across. Otherwise, we're gonna get overrun by all the infantry that's chasing us. Like, there's just too many of them. Actually, none of those guns are actually really firing back at us. Hurry across! We'll have to set up on each side of the river here to prepare our defense. But it's not going to be a long defense because there's only 3 minutes left of the battle. So I only need to hold out for 3 minutes. But it's going to be a loss for my side. And we might lose a lot because of this. So close, yet so far. I think they've got less than 20 units, so I don't think they're gonna get any more. So like, this is it. If I'd been able to hold a little bit longer, we could have possibly won this. But the thing is, any kind of rifle exchange at this point, my troops, so many of them are really low on ammo. I don't know if we could hold, just because there's so much more infantry coming that's crossing, ready to cross the river. Even with my artillery blasting. It's gonna be interesting to see just how many kills my artillery would have, or will have, I should say, will have destroyed of the enemy. At the same time, my army is going to go from 1,900 to, like, I'm guessing less than 300 men, just looking at the numbers here. But I guess technically the British were able to hold on to the river crossing. That reinforcement of those tanks and those extra troops brought across from Normandy cannot come any sooner, can they? Let's see, we're just gonna sit here, let the time run out while we blast the enemy with shells. 44 seconds. Slowly running the timer down here. 30 seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Boom. It's we lost. But we definitely inflicted more damage on the British than they did on us. Valiant defeat. And for once, I would definitely agree with this. Here's the result of the battle. More troops survived than I thought. We have 500 men left out of my 1900 men. And the enemy had 1,000 men left at the end of the battle. But look at the losses there. They lost almost 6 times as much as I did in this battle. Thing is though is, will I be able to replenish my losses compared to what the British will? 6,000 men killed. The enemy, for once the enemy actually killed almost 300 of their own. Similar to what I did. We actually both killed about that. Super heavy siege. I did not think that cannon was very effective at all. I didn't think it was, because when I saw those shots, they were kind of landing all over the place. But that managed to get 1,300 kills, almost 1,400 kills. Then siege guns, of course, they're really powerful, they're really good. 1,000. Interesting that one got 1,000, one got 500. Why was one so much better than the other? Raw Assault Group. Guessing this one was the one that held for the longest, throwing grenades into that massive infantry. Almost 500 kills. Then field guns. Didn't think they were too impressive either. It would have been nice if I'd actually be able to place one of my bombs close enough that someone would walk onto them. We have an infantry here that are 191 men. They lost 150. Only 41 remaining. And they didn't kill anyone. That was poor use of that unit. 3 units destroyed. It's their raw assault groups were destroyed. And an infantry unit. Because I didn't have anything else special. We still have the Jaegers. We still have the bombs. I'm going to get 2 machine guns to replace the loss here. We retreat back into Cardiff. We've got pretty good replenishment. We're gonna add another unit to this. I'm thinking rifle grenadiers. They're really good. What we've seen from other battles. So we're gonna replace that. I mean, the British have 1 unit with 2 soldiers here. This is the army that's somewhat intact. And then there's 1 cannon over here. They've got an army coming in right here. But he's not got the range to actually bring himself to battle. And once I take this ship down, or this fleet down, I should be able to bring across these guys. Or I should bring them onto the fleet. So I'm ready to bring these guys already. And we'll be able to bring them across there. And that'll be good. That was a long battle though. Even with me cutting about half of it. Ish. Right. With that said, we'll go ahead and say as we always say. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.